YouTube, Chris from Audio Obsession, back again with another video. Today's video I am going to do, it'd probably be like a short or short-ish collection update video. So I've got a handful of stuff, I got like a pile of stuff, and I want to show everything all at once, and I'm trying to break them down into small pieces, so at least this way I'm trying to do that because I don't want my bloody videos to be lasting, you know, over 30 minutes. I have difficulty trying to keep my my videos, you know, down at a decent level. But anyway, so because I do that, I ramble on. I'm gonna get right into it. I've got 3 CDs and 4 records I'm gonna show you today. So first off is a fantastic band who has put out a little bit of a teaser because they will be having a full length come out hopefully in the near future. It'll probably be in the new year, I'm expecting, obviously. But yeah, Consecration and their EP Reanimated. So like I said, this is a little bit of a teaser because they plan on having a full length come out, and just wanted to get something out to people to kind of sink their teeth into. Picture of the band, and of course it was put out on Cavernous Records. So yeah, it's a 3-song EP. All songs are actually older songs. The first 2 were just kind of freshened up songs from the first EP that they put out, the Gut the Priest EP, I believe. Yes. And the last song is a completely reworked song. So what's really cool about this EP is that the sound that they've captured on this, it's a live take off the floor recording, but it sounds so freaking good. It's got a clarity to it, but it's also got this demo quality to it, which I'm a huge fan of, you know, especially with your death metal bands or whatever. Back in the day when you'd be passing around demos to friends, to people all over the world, demo quality just, it's got something about it that draws me in, and it kind of takes me back to those days of getting literally a cassette that somebody dubbed and, you know, here's my band, check it out. So with this, that's what it reminds me of, but yet there's a clarity in it. It's not a shit demo sound, it's a really good demo quality sound. And yeah, really happy to have this. So listening to this, I'm really anticipating the new album that's going to come out, because this band is definitely progressing. As they're moving along, they're progressing huge. And they're definitely within the genre of the death doom. They're going to be a huge force to be reckoned with. And see, on the inside, I was lucky enough to get all the guys to sign my copy for me, which basically means when they take off and hit Metallica status, I'll be able to put a down payment on a really nice house then when I go to sell this. And the art on this is just incredible. I absolutely love this kind of inked art. Let's see if I can get it. Okay. And, of course, I had to add to my shirt collection, getting it in the shirt form, which, just like the last shirt they put out, came out killer. It literally, it's awesome. Perfect shirt. And yeah, proud owner of it. So you guys did a great job on this EP, and yeah, I cannot wait to hear a full length, to get that in my collection, because yeah, I'm just super excited. Okay, so moving on. This band, now this is taking me back to the 90s. So when I was younger and getting into, and actually I'd already been into the death metal scene and the metal scene in general for a little while now. But this band, it stood out because they were relatively a local band. This band was from London, Ontario, Canada, which for me, where I'm at, like roughly about a 2-hour drive. But at the time when it came out, it blew me away because any of the bands that I was listening to were either European bands, the Florida death metal scene, so, you know, Floridian bands, bands around the States. But to find a band that was somewhat more local to me, it was kind of, there was only so many. There was very few bands that were really kind of breaking through, because back then in Canada it was hard because nobody, like the States never looked at Canada as having, you know, a contribution at the time, and it was bigger everywhere else, but yet Canada had its own, and it was starting to build. It was just trying to, for a Canadian band to break through into the States, that's when you know you made it, basically. But anyways, this band brings me back to my past getting this CD on hand. And the band is Summertime Daisies. See if I can get a close-up of that. And the CD is The Clarity of Impurity. Okay, I already know I gotta get me something out of the skull here. Okay, so back to it. So this band is a old school sounding death metal band. Particularly the most heaviest influence that I get when I listen to this album is Suffocation. Mainly Suffocation's Human Waste EP. That era of Suffocation, that's exactly what this band reminds me of. Not like a copycat, but just the tonality, the, you know, really aggressive sound, the raw death metal sound to it. But yeah, now this one happened, it's 2016 repress on Dark Descent and Dark Symphonies. Let's see if I can, right there. So what's really cool about this is this was their first full-length album that they put out, but they had 2 demos prior to this. So this repress actually has both of those 2 demos, and the demos sound awesome, like fantastic, old school death metal, not like a nasty sounding, you know, garbled up tape demo. It is awesome quality. And yeah, really happy to have this. I've been on the hunt for an original copy for a long time, but just couldn't get my hands on it. I know a buddy of mine years ago was the one who actually had a copy long time ago, and I'm almost certain what he had was one of the demos, because this thing came out in 96, and I know we had it before that, so I'm pretty positive he had a demo. Where that is, I don't know. If he still got it and he doesn't want it, I'm going to get my hands on it. But yeah, why they had a band name called the Summertime Daisies, no clue, because it certainly doesn't describe their the sound of the music, but clearly that was probably what they were going for. The most inobvious type name, looking at it going, what the hell is that? Well, they're like a Suffocation death metal is what it is. Excellent stuff. So I'll put some links if I can find some sound bites. I believe there's stuff on YouTube, so I'll put some stuff on there for you guys to check out. Now, what I've got playing right now is this next CD. Now, I got this as a blind buy, surfing through Discogs. I had never actually heard the band before, but I saw the cover and it was listed under Death Doom, and I just said, you know what? It was like $8. I'm just gonna get it. and I'm sure I'm gonna like it, and I do. And the band is Shrine of the Serpent, and the album title is Entropic Disillusion. See if I can get that without a glare. It's got like an ominous looking type cover on it. Put out on Memento Mori. And yeah, so this band is from Portland, Oregon. Now, anybody who knows Portland, they are well known for their doom scene. Like, huge. You got bands like Bellwitch there. Like, there's a massive amount of bands that fall under the doom category, which branches off to the, you know, the stoner dooms, the death dooms, or whatever. But Portland has got a killer music scene. So these guys, it's almost like if I'm describing to a friend saying, you know, this band has like a Portland sound. Literally, Portland has their sound, and this band definitely sounds like it. So it's just like Bellwitch. It's got the same type of feeling. So these guys are really, they're death doom, but they're, well, they got both feet into the funeral doom aspect too, because it is slow, thick, dirgy, really heavy, cavernous vocals, like massive cavernous vocals. It's only a 3-piece, and these guys sound monstrous. I can only imagine what they sound like live. Unfortunately, from what I was reading, they disbanded. From what I saw anyways, but... So yeah, here's a little bit more of the art. This thing is a biatch to get out. I tried to get it out earlier, and I was going to rip it, so I'm just leaving it in there. But yeah, Shrine of the Serpent, really, really cool, thick, heavy death doom band. Bordering well into funeral doom. Awesome stuff. And it was for $8. I was glad to get it as a blind buy, so thankfully surprised. Okay, so I am moving on to my vinyl. Ah, yummy. Okay, so this first one that is up, that I was searching at the time that I got this. I was in a mood for something nasty, and I went looking, and I found something nasty. I found exactly what I was looking for. And a friend of mine here on YouTube, I'll use his best description for describing it: nasty, horrible death metal. And that would be Pharmacist. So hopefully YouTube doesn't have an issue with the cover, but it's kind of gruesome cover when you get in there. Let's see if I can show it all, or as much as possible. But yeah, it's got some kind of nasty stuff in there. Pretty much a bunch of dead body stuff. And yeah, when I went looking for nasty and horrible, this is exactly what I got. This is, to me, a definition of gore grind. 100%. I know people talk about Carcass being gore grind, and rightfully so, but for me, only in their like first, second album at most. After that, I think they kind of moved away from it, because they're somewhat there lyrically. Yeah, to me, gore grind still has a sound to it, and Pharmacist fits that bill perfectly. It is got this raw, nasty ass sound to it. The first time I put it on and listened to it, I had to, during the first song, I stopped and go, whoa, what am I listening to here? I gotta start all over again. Get right into the mindset, turn it up, and it was just awful sounding, but in a great way. Such a raw nastiness. The vocals are... It's kind of like how I described band Eternal Rot, where the vocals were not like in the forefront, like right out there in your face. It was more of like an added effect to the rest of the album. And that's what these vocals are. They're like really deep, totally inaudible, like kind of gargly, like somebody's choking on something, like, you know, getting choked out. It's got this nasty sound. Sounds so cool. But yeah, completely inaudible for the most part, but it just adds that, you know, nasty effect to the music. And the music is just thick, raw, fast. It's awesome. Absolutely killer. These guys are from Japan, too. And they are just kicking ass with this stuff. They've got plenty of splits and singles that they put out. And yeah, so here's just insert. So just some extra artwork and, you know, your song titles, whatnot. And if I didn't mention it, I got it from Grindfather, which puts out nasty, horrible stuff. Absolutely killer, fantastic stuff. Here it was just black vinyl, but poly liner, nice. So yeah, nasty stuff. I love it. Killer. Pharmacist. Okay, so this next one tonally sounds a lot different. This will fall under the melodic death metal category. This band is from Sweden. And I'd heard about this band. They started in 91. They had a really short stint, like about maybe a 2-year stint, and then kind of went on hiatus for a number of years and then kind of came back. They were a well-known band in the Swedish death metal scene. And this particular album I came across because I was listening to Spotify, and it just started randomly playing stuff. And the band Evocation came up. Now, this album here is excised and atomized. Now, what it actually is, it's pretty well like an EP, but it's not of their tunes. This particular album, it'll probably be next to impossible to see. Yeah, it'll be impossible. I'll just read it off. So it's actually a cover album. So what they did was they just came out with this idea to do a cover album and pick a bunch of bands that were extremely influential to them, pick a song from them, and they recorded them. Now, normally I don't jump onto cover albums, but they do these songs so bloody good that, and they were like super well-known songs. So here, first song is For Victory by Wolfroar, Corporal Jigsaw Quandary by Carcass, You Suffer by Napalm Death, and literally it's the 2-second version, Enigma by Edge of Sanity, and Terminal Spirit Disease by At the Gates, which is one of my all-time favorite At the Gates tunes, hands down. I absolutely love that song, and they did these songs justice. They sound really good, and for the price, it was like, oh my god, I think I paid like 12 or 13 bucks. I found it off of Discogs, somebody getting rid of it, and it's mint. Completely mint. And I was super excited when I got it. So of course it came with, you know, a bunch of ads for more vinyl bands, whatnot. And here we got insert, picture of the band. We got, so what you would think would be on the lyrics side, actually what they've done here is they broke down each song, and instead of putting lyrics, they put what their influences were and why they chose those songs. And they go in quite a lot of detail about the specific bands that they chose and why they chose. So yeah, it was really, really cool. So yeah, it was a pleasant surprise, because I remember hearing the band way back when, but never actually owning anything from them. And then this came around, and I just thought it was such a cool idea that I had to get it, and it sounds great. And it's just on your typical black wax. And yeah, I was really happy for the price to get this, and minty, completely minty fresh. So yeah, Evocation, Excised and Atomized. Awesome cover album. Now this next one I actually got from a pawn shop, and was kind of surprised to see it there in the first place. Still wrapped, brand new. How they came across it, I don't know, because the pawn shop has really nothing related to music other than a couple, old shitty albums and whatever, and then this one popped up. Master, the best of. So this came out in 2018, and that's exactly what it is. It's a compilation of, what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs, just chosen for a best of album. Now Master has been around forever. Like they formed in '83, and literally they have got a discography like the length of my bloody arm. They've got so many albums. Unfortunately for me, this is the only one I own by them. I remember hearing Master back in the early 90s, and the way I heard them was from the Death is Just the Beginning compilation series. And great band, a death thrash band. Of course, Paul Speckman, the lead singer and bass player, he's had his hands in all kinds of bands within that type of genre. I believe Death Strike, Abomination, and yeah, so he's had his hands into a lot of things, and he's been around for a long time. And like I said, they got so many albums out. But it was one of those bands that I knew of them, I liked them, I just never got anything from them. Keep in mind, where I lived growing up as a kid in the 90s, I really didn't have good access to stuff, and when you have no money and you're poor, there's so much that I want to get that I can't get, right? So I get what's available, and yeah, I'm gonna have to rectify it, because I really do like Master. The stuff, I've heard lots of it, of course, MP3 stuff, I've heard all their stuff. I just have to start getting them in my collection to own. This one came on a really nice electric blue. I actually got a couple pieces of splatter in there, but probably won't show up here and it's hard to see. But yeah, really cool. I got this thing for dirt cheap. And yeah, it was just like one of those kind of surprise buys. Certainly wasn't expecting it to be there, and glad it was. So yeah, the best of Master. And last but not least, this actually came from that very same pawn shop. I didn't actually know about this band, so what I had to do was do a really quick Google search and go on Bandcamp. And when I read reviews on the band, I just said, yeah, okay, blind buy, I'm gonna get it, because it sounds like something I'm into. I mean, the logo right away says there's a good chance that I'm gonna like it. And the band is Heretical Set. So these guys are from New Mexico, and they are classified as like a death doom band, but they've got some extra influences on this album. Now, oh, sorry, the album is Rotting Cosmic Grief. Forgot to mention that. But yeah, so giving this a listen, they've got not even death doom, so they've got black metal in it too. They're listed as like a black metal band, but they're not black metal in the sense of like your Norwegian stuff. It's more like a blackened death that I would describe them as. They've got really like the echoey guttural vocals, really deep guttural vocals, but it's got this kind of blackened, raw blackened death metal type tone to it, like riff wise and everything. But then they've got elements of doom that get added in, and there was a few moments where it even had a little bit of like a stoner kind of tone to it. Not very much, just like a small little tidbit here and there, but so it just, rather than staying, you know, full bore on say like a black metal, blackened death, it kind of would meander around a little bit back and forth. So it was a sound that was really cool, and I really dug it a lot. And this is just an EP, just a few 4 songs. But yeah, to find this at the pawn shop, and this thing was like $14. I couldn't pass it up. There's no way, even, you know, not knowing what the band sounded like, I wasn't gonna pass it up for $14. Let's see if I can get this out. So this is another 3-piece band. Now, what's interesting also about this band is they apparently rarely play live, and they remain hooded. So they've kind of just keeping their appearance disguised. Oh my god, my throat is dry. Just an excuse to have another drink. So, here we got some lyrics. Picture of the band, whatnot. Yeah, really cool find. They got a really nice raw sound to them, and yeah, I was really happy to get that. And of course, another black wax. I ended up finding the band's Bandcamp page, and of course it's all sold out, so I guess I lucked out too. And yeah, really cool stuff. So that right there is my video for today. I'll try to not, you know, take too damn long again, and come up with another, because I got a handful of stuff, and I'm hoping that there's some more stuff that I got, you know, that'll come in just before Christmas that I've been really waiting on. One particular I actually just ordered today, a band from the UK, Leeds, I believe. I won't mention it. I'm super excited to get this CD, and I can't wait. And hopefully in the near future I can show it off on a video here, because I've been listening to it since I ordered it on repeat all day today and even last night. And just awesome death doom band. I cannot wait to show it. And yeah, so thank you very much if you made it all the way to the end. I'm trying not to do long videos, but I yammer on too much. And I appreciate everybody who watches. And yeah, I'll see you next time.